Yes, different dress today. Today's Sunday, and we're going to talk about something a little different today. We're going to talk about one of the things about my natural sleeping patterns is that I technically do not see the sun. It's the truth. I honestly, I go to sleep usually in my natural sleep patterns. This is what my sleep patterns are naturally at 6 a.m. and I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm up until 6 a.m. the next day. However, that's really not so workable for a person who goes to a soup kitchen that is only open from 9 to 12:30. So I have to get up early, which is an additional crimp in my natural circadian rhythms, because I am not a diurnal person. If you don't know what the word diurnal means, it means a person who's up in the day, versus nocturnal, which is up at night. I am mainly nocturnal, so I usually, when ships fall the way they do, generally, that's exactly what I do. I tend to sleep in the day and up at night. But tonight I'm going to go sleep a little earlier. So we're not going to get any games in tonight. But I wanted to get in the middle of the news. We haven't done that much news coverage lately, other than YouTube. And I want to cover something else. I wanted to talk about the impeachment business. And that some people now are beginning to agree that the situation is out of control, and that they're concerned that it could end up in a violent, bloody civil war of those who agree with Donald Trump and those who hate Donald Trump. Now, before we get into the lovers and the haters, let me ask this question. How did it all get started in the first place? Well, it actually goes back a long, long time ago, and back when we ended up creating the Republican Party and the Democratic Party ended up splitting off. The Republican Party was the anti-slavery party. The Democrats were pro-slavery. Originally, the South was Democrat. Okay? Now, the word Democrat comes from the concept of democracy, which is kind of an interesting bit of history. Side note, because the Democrats are not necessarily for a democracy at all. They tend to focus on something that is more of a completely different type of agenda. I'm not exactly sure what you call it. It's not a business based, and it's certainly not a republic either. But it clearly is not what it was. So, make long story short, the Republican Party was created from another party, which was anti-slavery, freedom of the slaves. And one of the most first actual Republican presidents was Abraham Lincoln, who not only signed several laws, did the famous Gettysburg Address covered at the time of the Civil War, actually was one of the many people that was pushing for the freedom of slaves. So, yes, it goes back a long way. It's funny because the Democrats still want the equivalent of slavery today. They are doing things such as the urban plantation mentality. If you look at what's going on in the urban environment today, it's not necessarily beneficial for anybody, especially in big cities like Flint, Detroit, Hartford, Bridgeport, New Haven, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, just to name a few, Portland, Seattle. All these cities have one problem. They have lost track of the responsibilities as an urban city. The people who are living there often feel like they are just basically just treading water. And that's because of the Democrat policies in the cities often says, shut up, do what you have to, and you get a check. Oh yeah, and we're going to shut down all the businesses and we're going to take away all the tax revenue. The problem is, of course, with that is that angered a lot of people. One of the things that reason why Donald Trump was so successful in 2016 was he was able to rally up the support of the people in the cities. Now, never mind the ballot box stuffing with the Democrats. We already know they were doing that. They knew that the truth is that their agenda was flawed and not working already, as we have notable examples of this throughout history. So, unfortunately for the Democrats, they did not like seeing that Donald Trump was managing to draw rallies of 30, 40, 50, 60,000, filling arenas, and on top of that, having lines outside of the arenas and big rallies that actually, if you included people outside arenas, were in the 100,000 people. That's an enormous amount of people to think about. Whereas most Democrats couldn't even get maybe 1,000 people in a room. Think about that. So the Democrats decided to try, the best thing to do to destroy Donald Trump was to come up with a bullshit story, saying things like Russian collusion, that he's a misogynist, he's a male chauvinist, he's a backstabbing liar, guess what? He's not. Okay, he's actually been playing a very straight game. Yes, he is pro-business. Yes, he does have money coming in from his business. But then so do the Democrats. If you look at all the stuff that they do, a lot of them are into real estate or are into speaking engagements, or of course the main businesses, a lot of them are lawyers. And the problem is you don't see anybody complaining about their incomes, their businesses, or their business practices. For example, Biden's son was already getting himself into a heap of trouble, and almost worse trouble than what Donald Trump did. In fact, that's something to think about. So if everybody thinks that Donald Trump is so bad of a villain, realize that the country's becoming divided straight down the middle. Where's the middle ground here? There isn't any. And the sad truth is that individuals who are living in this country are asking those tough questions. Why? Why is this happening? Well, you see, you gotta understand one thing. It's happening because our country is really, really lost its integrity. Okay? Think about what I mean from it. Your country has lost its integrity. Your president is supposed to be a scoundrel. And you're basically, and at the same time, your House of Representatives and your Senate are basically fighting each other over something as simple as dealing with even any kind of paperwork, like budgets and things, is not getting really legislated on. Everything is just investigate this one, investigate that one. This country is losing its integrity, and for a lot of reasons. Because first of all is, you guys look at it, when the Democrats were in charge, nothing got done. When the Republicans were in charge, they did a bit better, but they still had a problem getting things done. But they did get more done than the Democrats. Now we have the Republicans in charge of the Senate and the Democrats in charge of the House. Again, nothing's getting completed. The sad truth is, if you guys are going to seriously pass legislation, and that's fine. That's what you were elected to do. Yet I'm not seeing anybody going up to any of the congressmen waking up and going, "Hey, wait a minute, guys! Stop this bullshit. We have to get our jobs done. We were appointed by the people to actually legislate and create bills and laws. We're not focusing on our main task. You know, this is uncool. But, well, you know what? The sad truth is that's not the way they think. And I'm sorry to say that. I wish our government was able to, fix the problems. But it's not going to. Okay? Or it's sad, but it's true. Our country has totally lost its path. So yeah, the concern of a bloody civil war is real. And because the American people, the real American people, the ones that really go to work every day, or at least live in the communities every day, are saying is we need change. We need to fix the problems that are wrong in this country. We need to focus on the things that we can do to make things better. Why aren't they getting the change that they deserve? Because the sad truth is, the government isn't listening to what they need. They're doing everything else that they want. And then including things that they really don't want, but they think you want. Like seeing a good president thrown out of office. But bullshit story after bullshit story after bullshit story. Those American people in the front lines, and I don't mean just the military, but I can include them too. Those people are saying to themselves as, look, this is one of the best presidents we've ever had in the recent past. He has won. He's working very hard to get us out of conflicts in other countries. He's trying, and fairly successfully, is trying to find a way to finally make peace with other countries. Unfortunately, there are some stubborn ones that won't change easy. We know that. But to say to somebody, oh, Donald Trump is this bad person, is totally bullshit butkus. I've watched The Apprentice. I had a chance to see what The Apprentice was about. I saw Donald Trump on The Apprentice. I also know Donald Trump on a little more local level because I live right upstairs from New York City. So I happen to know, and I can ask around and find evidence of Donald Trump's work and good things that he's done for the community. So there's no reason to say that Donald Trump is a monster when he never was. But it seems that because the Democrats don't want to deal with the real elephant in the room, which is the situation with the environment in the cities and the decay and the decrepit living conditions for people. They don't want to fix that. It's not important for them. That's not a big issue for them. And they don't care. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. The American people do want you to do your job. They want you to help make the lives better for people. Oh yeah, but that also means that things like not creating COPPA in the first place. Might as well bring it into that. But then again, here's a mistake that was done. YouTube actually settled out of court with COPPA. You know what, YouTube? You should have basically went to court, and you should have went in there with your guns blazing. Because now, of course, you are basically have short-shafted your own people. Yes, your own people. Like Judas Iscariot, you have basically thrown us to the curb to save a couple of silvers. Thank you very much. Really love you for that one. Now, the other thing I'm going to cover is the gaming. Now, I do like doing the games. I do enjoy doing them. Okay? But I gotta be honest, I don't like doing them too late at night. I ended up doing them too late at night last night again. I ended up, even though before the 2-hour stream, I was already streaming, I wasn't streaming, but I was playing for another 4 hours before that. On another game, which was still World of Warcraft, but I was playing my main character, Vanya, which I finally got her up to level 5. It is really, really difficult to explain to some people that if you like gaming, that's great. I will game for you. Some person got mad because I streamed for 6 hours. Honey, I didn't play in the stream for more than 2. I said that at the beginning of the stream. I said until 12 midnight or whatever came first. Guess what happened? That would have been a 2-hour stream. That ended up going for 6 hours. Okay? Actually, I spent just as much time last night on and off camera playing those games for about 6 hours. Now, one thing also about the World of Warcraft gnome character. The reason I said in the game that this is really depressing is, think of why. So you're waking up in this mind, created in this mind that is basically because of technological problems. It's full of hardcore radiation that makes a lot of people sick. Okay? You basically have to go out there and, because it turns out that actually the gnomes were taking advantage, I think, by the ogres. No, not by the ogres, by the not by the dwarves either, but basically they were taking advantage of, yes, they were by trolls, I think. And the problem is that in both cases, they, even though they were technologically savvy and smart and skilled, basically had to struggle under the yoke of technology. It was almost like a technocracy. Everything that the gnomes were doing was create technology in the World of Warcraft. It's very similar to what happens to everybody in the modern age. You look at everything out in the world. We basically bust our ass through machinery, computers, whatever. And yet, you totally take away the human element. I think Dow Chemical would agree with me on the human element, because it's true. The human element changes everything. Everything is based on why we create what we do. Of course, if you think about Dow would be one of the people running the mines in the land of the gnomes. Seriously. The problem is that same process making people sick. So it's very interesting to compare an environmental issue with a game issue. I don't really know how I would, other than say that I found the environment to be very depressing in that mine. And I don't know what the other guards are shooting at, but they look like they're shooting at cockroaches. Which kind of made me kind of laugh, because it was like, I used to have a roach problem here, and of course I dealt with it and got that taken care of. But still, the issue is I could just visualize in my mind what the environment must have been looking like. And I said to myself, this totally sucks. I wouldn't want to be stuck in that environment. So like I said in the video, let's get the hell out of here. I meant it. For me, it was emotionally disturbing. And I just said to myself, let's get the hell out of here. One way or another. And so I did. So I got out of the game. And, I'm still playing the game character. But the point is, I got out of the mine. Big time. Because I wanted to get the hell out of that mine. But it's the same thing with the urban environment on Earth today. If you look at everything that goes on, all the technology that we ever use may make our world better, but that's relative, because for who? Does it make it better for Jane Doe? Does it make it better for John Doe? Who has to go ahead and work at the businesses like with the pins and technology every day, Sure, it's a lot nicer. For example, being able to scan barcode items at the supermarket instead of actually having to enter prices into a cash register one at a time. It absolutely is. Or, being able, for example, in a fast food restaurant, basically have point of sale terminals that are set up that every single ordered item is a button on the keyboard, and all you have to do is press that button, and then that item will ring up the right price, and then you'll tell you how much money to get back to customers in change, or the customer can then swipe their credit card and go ahead and then enter the PIN into the keypad, and then get the product. That's nice too. But there always is going to be the sad backroom stuff that goes on and you don't know about. Like, someone's still going to have to deal with the paperwork and the setting up and programming all this gear. It makes having the point of sale terminals or whatever. This is not. Those are the real gnomes, the real ones in the back rooms. They're basically keeping all the computers running and keeping our modern society going. Unfortunately, some of the gnomes don't have glorious jobs. Some of them, for example, have to still empty the grease trap in a restaurant. Some of them still have to get their hands dirty preparing the meat for the grill guy to cook. The grill guy still has to cook the meat. So technology is not always a glorious thing. And it's true with the World of Warcraft kind of reminded me of that. And that's why it was so depressing, is because what I saw in the gnome's land was exactly what I see every day in real life. In the mines. And I said to myself, I have to get the hell out of here. Any way I could. Because I did not like where I was. I did not like being in that environment. And it made me feel really, really uncomfortable. And then I went into Ironforge, and just like Stormwind is this big city, and I couldn't find anything. I really couldn't find anything in Ironforge, or Giant Forge, or Great Forge, whatever the other place is. I found two cities, or one was actually like a casting factory making castings, and it was in Ironforge. But still, I really, I find actually I sense a lot of Winstead in the gnomes world. A lot of Winstead was into ironworking at one point, and making clocks and mass production of casting machinery. And yeah, it's funny because the Winstead Raggies were actually from Mount Ragu in Salisbury, and they actually were ironworkers from Europe. They came over here, they looked to make things and make a living. So yes, another interesting crossover between World of Warcraft and where I really live. So no wonder why it's depressing, because even though it's a game, I can almost sense Winstead in it. And or even a little bit of Torrington, actually. So I was like, I want to get the hell out of here. I'm talking about the game. So once I managed to find a way to escape the mine, that's exactly what I did. I took my bag, whatever I had, and just skedaddled out of there. And I had no intention of going back into Ironforge or into the Gnome Land. I am going to go straight anywhere I can. Hell or high water with that character. I'm going to go straight out of that area. If I end up dying in the process of the character, that's fine. But I am not staying in that environment. Okay? Now, for Bikala as a priestess over for the Blood Elves, hey, she has no reason to leave. She's actually got it pretty good. She's like a level 8 now. So she's level 9. She's level 9. She's got nice warm, reasonable weather. She's got easy to kill targets. She basically has no real reason to leave. In fact, the funny thing is that her situation is completely different. Both her and our little gnome character both have energy weapons, but they completely different. One is comfortable, as snug as a bug in a rug, and the other one is basically, it's like, I'm in a hurry to get things done. Let rush you rush until life's no fun. All you do is live and die. I'm in a hurry and I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I got a variation for that line for that song. I want to get the fuck out of here. This place is depressing to be here. Absolutely. So, as far as the other issues, YouTube, I have to say, YouTube, you're not helping with depression because last year you did the same bullshit to us when you took, not last year, 2016, you did the same bullshit to us. You changed the rules enough. You took away the YouTube Partner Program, and so many channels were devastated by your actions. And yet, you're claiming that we don't make money off of us. Well, you know what? I want to tell you something, YouTube. That's not necessarily true, because even, like I said back then, even the small fry channels to make you money. You're so worried about your advertisers, but you're not realizing that you're going to lose out of every single one of your creators. It's kind of stupid, but that's YouTube for you. YouTube doesn't necessarily always understand that they can't do that to people. That people do love what they do and they have a passion. And that those people are going to do with their passions. And I see I got a message coming up on my phone. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, hey, don't hold it against us because we're saying that something's wrong. We are not your problem, YouTube. We're really not. Look at Jumper Management. That's what you have to look. Alright, guys, so tomorrow, of course, is Monday. The Soup Kitchen will be open. I will be going to the Soup Kitchen. I hope. I know me, I'll probably not play a game until 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I'll be dog tired, and then I'll basically plop on the mattress and snore. Miss lunch in the process, and then basically be pissed at myself for it. So, that's one of the reasons I'm probably not going to play any games tonight. I'm just going to watch a little bit of YouTube videos and stuff like that. But I definitely hope to play some more of the game. But it's definitely is becoming to a point in the United States that you're going to start to see risks of a civil war. Potentially a very bloody one. And it's almost like the government is rotting from within. As Adam Schiff was able to have secret meetings, and those secret meetings were finally outed by the Democrats, were outed, and clearly that's an ethic and legal violation of the laws. So very, very interesting to see what's going on. Alright, guys, talk to you later. For now, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.